Every morning, a man pulls his old 2013 Toyota Camry into the farthest corner of the employee parking lot. The hubcaps are scratched. The paint has lost some of its shine. And inside the car, there's that unmistakable smell of old upholstery that comes from a vehicle that has been around for years. His coworkers see the car and make assumptions. Maybe they think he's struggling. Maybe they assume he's behind on his bills. Maybe they believe one serious emergency could completely destroy his finances. But they have no idea what is actually happening behind the scenes. That man has $3.2 million sitting in a taxable brokerage account. His house is completely paid off. His child's college education is already funded. And if he walked into his CEO's office this morning and said, "I quit," he could potentially walk away from employment forever. Now look at his manager. Every morning, the manager arrives in a leased BMW X5. Heated leather seats, huge wheels, perfect paint. Everything about the vehicle screams success. But there's a problem. Behind that impressive image is a financial situation that looks nothing like the car. The manager is only a few missed paychecks away from serious financial trouble. So here's the question. Which man is actually wealthy? And which man is actually free? Because those two things are not necessarily the same. Today, we're going to expose one of the most expensive mistakes people make when they start earning more money. They start trying to look like they've made it. They upgrade the car. They upgrade the house. They upgrade their clothes. They upgrade their lifestyle. And without realizing it, they upgrade their dependence on their paycheck. That BMW sitting in the parking lot may look like a symbol of success, but financially, it can become something very different. A set of golden handcuffs. I'm going to show you the cold math behind this. I'm going to show you why your employer may actually benefit from you having expensive monthly obligations. And I'm going to show you why looking ordinary can sometimes be one of the most powerful financial decisions you can make. This isn't about being cheap. It's about understanding the mathematics of freedom. My name is Nico, and we're about to perform a forensic audit on your lifestyle. Most people think their relationship with their employer is simple. You give the company your time and skills. The company gives you a paycheck. End of story. But there's another layer that most employees don't think about. Your financial obligations determine how much freedom you have to say no. Imagine walking into work with a $950 monthly car payment. Then add a mortgage consuming 40% of your take-home income. Add insurance, utilities, credit cards, subscriptions, restaurants, vacations, and everything else your lifestyle has come to depend on. Suddenly, your paycheck isn't just income. It becomes survival. Now your boss asks you to stay late on Friday. You can't easily say no. They ask you to come in on Saturday. You hesitate. They deny your request for remote work. You accept it. And when you finally become frustrated enough to think about quitting, you look at your monthly expenses and realize something terrifying. You can't afford to leave. That's the golden handcuff effect. The more expensive your lifestyle becomes, the more money you need to maintain it. And the more money you need, the harder it becomes to walk away from the source of that money. This is why the high earner who isn't wealthy can actually be more trapped than someone earning far less. Hello, imagine someone earning $150,000 a year, but spending $148,000. Their income looks impressive. Their lifestyle looks impressive, but their freedom is almost non-existent. They're what some people call a Henry, high earner, not rich yet. They earn enough to look successful, but not enough to become independent. And that distinction matters. Because the corporate system doesn't care how expensive your car is. It cares whether you can afford to stop showing up. Now think about that BMW in the parking lot. Your manager sees it as a luxury, but financially, that vehicle represents a long-term obligation. A lender or leasing company doesn't care whether you feel successful. They care that the payment arrives every month. And as long as you need that paycheck to make the payment, you have less leverage. This brings us to something I call the visibility tax. We've been taught that success needs to be visible. You need the expensive car, the expensive watch, the beautiful house, the designer clothing. Because if nobody can see your success, what's the point? But here's the problem. When you advertise wealth, people start treating you as though you have more money to spend. You become the person expected to pick up the restaurant bill. You become the friend everyone assumes can afford the expensive vacation. And when you walk into certain businesses looking wealthy, people may assume you're comfortable paying more. Your visible lifestyle can create invisible expenses. But there's an even more serious problem. Visibility can attract attention. Scammers, fraudsters, and criminals don't necessarily know how much money is sitting in your bank account. They look for signals, luxury vehicles, expensive homes, high-end possessions, public displays of wealth. The more you advertise financial success, the more you can potentially attract people interested in extracting some of it. So you're not simply paying for a luxury lifestyle. You're paying for the perception of having a luxury lifestyle. And that perception has a cost. Now let's forget the psychology for a moment. Let's talk about mathematics. Dealerships want you thinking about monthly payments. How much can you afford per month? That's the question. But wealth builders ask something completely different. What is this purchase going to cost my future? Imagine two people, Jake and Marcus. Both earn $100,000 a year. Jake decides he deserves the truck. He leases a $65,000 vehicle. After the payment, insurance, fuel, maintenance, and other costs, his transportation expenses come to roughly $1,200 a month. Over 5 years, that's approximately $72,000. And after all that spending, the vehicle is still depreciating. Now look at Marcus. Marcus drives an older, reliable sedan. It's not impressive. Nobody turns their head when he arrives. But his total transportation cost is only around $200 a month. Instead of spending that additional $1,000, Marcus invests it. Every single month, he puts the money into a broad market index fund and leaves it alone. Now imagine Marcus starts doing this at age 25 and continues until age 55. Assuming a long-term average return of around 10%, that $1,000 monthly investment could grow to roughly $2 million. Think about that. The difference between the flashy vehicle and the boring vehicle isn't simply a difference in transportation. It could represent millions of dollars in future wealth. Jake bought something he could show people. Marcus bought something that could eventually buy his time back. And that is the part people miss. Jake isn't just spending money today. He's giving up future compounding. Every dollar that goes into a depreciating asset is a dollar that cannot simultaneously grow inside an investment account. This is the math of the middle class playing out in real time. But if the mathematics are so obvious, why do people continue choosing the expensive option? Because money isn't just mathematics. It's psychology. A century ago, economist and sociologist Thorstein Veblen described the concept of conspicuous consumption. People don't always purchase things because they need them. Sometimes they purchase things because they want other people to see them. Think about a luxury watch. A $50 watch can tell you the time. A $50,000 watch can also tell you the time. The additional 49 cents down $50 isn't necessary for knowing whether it's 2:30. A large portion of that price is connected to craftsmanship, exclusivity, and importantly, status. It's a signal. It tells the world something about the person wearing it. But here's the brutal irony. The people you're trying to impress are usually busy trying to impress somebody else. Everyone is participating in the same competition. And meanwhile, your financial future is quietly being sacrificed to maintain your position in a game nobody officially announced. Actual wealth builders play a different game. They don't ask, how wealthy do I look? They ask, how much freedom am I accumulating? They understand that every unnecessary dollar spent on appearance is a dollar that cannot compound. And they understand another advantage of looking ordinary: privacy. When people don't know how much money you have, they can't easily build expectations around your money. Your relationships become less transactional. Your friends may appreciate you for who you are, rather than what you can provide. And your financial decisions become nobody else's business. Looking ordinary can become a strategic shield. So how do you escape? You don't have to live like a monk for the rest of your life. You need a period of intentional discipline. Think about the next 730 days. 2 years. For 2 years, make financial freedom more important than financial appearance. Step 1 is the identity shift. Stop thinking of yourself primarily as a consumer. Start thinking like an owner. Your job isn't your identity. It's a cash flow engine. Use that income to build investments, eliminate debt, and purchase future freedom. Step 2 is the beater upgrade. If you're trapped under a massive luxury car payment, consider getting out. Sell the expensive vehicle. Buy something reliable. Something boring. Something that doesn't impress anybody. Yes, your ego may take a hit, but that feeling won't last forever. Eventually, you'll realize that the money you aren't sending to the dealership every month can remain in your account. And that feels better than leather seats. Step 3 is to widen the gap. Every raise should not become a lifestyle upgrade. Every bonus doesn't need to become a shopping trip. Every time you eliminate a monthly expense, redirect that money toward your freedom fund. Freeze the visible lifestyle while allowing the invisible financial life to grow. That's the stealth wealth strategy. Don't announce your portfolio to coworkers. Don't buy something simply because it has a recognizable logo. Buy for quality, usefulness, and durability. And most importantly, stop measuring success by income. Measure it by time. How long could you survive if your paycheck disappeared tomorrow? 3 months? 1 year? 5 years? 20 years? That number tells you far more about your financial freedom than the badge on your car. The system doesn't necessarily need you to drive a BMW, but it benefits when your lifestyle requires you to keep working. The man with the dented Camry understands this. While they see an old Toyota, he sees options. While they see someone who hasn't made it, he sees someone who no longer needs to prove anything. He's not losing the status game. He's refusing to play it. Because real wealth isn't what people can see. It's what you can do when nobody is watching. It's the ability to walk away. It's the ability to say no. It's the ability to take a year off. It's the ability to choose your work instead of desperately needing it. Success isn't everything you can afford to buy. Success is everything you no longer need to buy. It is the freedom you purchased with the money you refuse to waste. So stop paying the visibility tax. Stop performing wealth. Start building it. Because one day, you may discover that the most expensive thing you ever bought wasn't the car in your driveway. It was the freedom you gave up to pay for it.